In this video, we will explain absolutely everything you need to know to travel to Guayaquil, the Pearl of the Pacific and Ecuador's largest city. This is the definitive guide and the most complete video you will watch today about a city that is often unfairly used just as a quick connection to the Galapagos, but which hides world-class gastronomy, vibrant river life, and parks where iguanas roam free in the middle of the city. We will cover everything from vital safety logistics to avoid taxi scams, where to eat the best crab of your life, and how to climb the colorful stairs of the city's oldest neighborhood without getting tired. So let's get started. Guayaquil is a port city, hot and humid, with an energy very different from the cold Andean Quito. It is the country's economic engine. On one side, you have the modern Malecon 2000, a safe and enclosed boardwalk along the river. On the other, the charming Las Peñas neighborhood, where the city was born. It is a place where you eat very well, the people are cheerful and loud, and tropical nature is present on every corner. Now let's move on to logistics and planning. What is the best time to visit Guayaquil? The city is hot all year round, but there are two seasons. The rainy and very hot season runs from January to April. In these months, the heat is intense and humidity is high, which can be tiring for walking. The dry and cool season, by their standards, runs from May to December. This is the best time. Days are sunny but with a river breeze that makes sightseeing pleasant, especially from July to October. And how many days to stay in Guayaquil? To see the basics and eat well, 2 full days are enough. If you want to visit Sante Island and the historical park calmly, set aside 3 days. It is the ideal stopover before or after the Galapagos. Now let's talk about transportation and how to get around Guayaquil. To arrive, you will land at José Joaquín de Olmedo International Airport, which is curiously located within the city, very close to tourist areas, about 15 minutes by car. To leave the airport and get around the city, the golden rule of safety is never hail yellow taxis on the street, especially at night. Express kidnapping in irregular taxis has been a serious issue in the past. Always use Uber or Cabify, which work very well and are tracked, or executive taxis from your hotel or the airport. Public transport, Metrovia, is cheap but tends to be very crowded and hot. We do not recommend it for tourists with luggage. Staying in a good region will make your trip much safer and more pleasant. The strategy in Guayaquil is to stay within the regenerated tourist zones. The first option, and the most charming, is Puerto Santa Ana. It is a modern, revitalized area on the riverfront, full of tall buildings, restaurants, and boardwalks. This is where the Wyndham Hotel and other luxury options are located. It is extremely safe. You can walk peacefully at night to the Las Peñas neighborhood. The second option is the center, but with caveats. Stay only in large classic hotels, like Hotel Oro Verde or Unipark, that are very close to Malecon 2000 or the Iguana Park. Avoid staying on dark streets in the commercial center, as they become deserted and dangerous after 6 p.m. The third option, for those looking for something different and exclusive, is to stay in San Borondón. It is a neighboring municipality, connected by a bridge where the upper class lives. This is where the historical park is located. It is very safe and chic. We created this personalized map that explains exactly which is the best region. Staying in Puerto Santa Ana or near the Malecon, you can't go wrong. We will leave here on the screen QR code and in the video description the link to this exclusive map. We created them on the hotel site we always use, as it always has the best prices and reliable options. We will also leave links to the hotels we have already stayed at and approved. In all destinations, we always recommend one that is very cheap and super well located for those who want to save money, and another that is a little better, in the same location, but a little more expensive with more comfort. These are great options tested by us. An important tip to save on accommodation is the advanced strategy. Guayaquil is a business hub. During the week, executive hotels fill up. On weekends, prices tend to drop. That is why we really like using this site we indicated. In addition to having the lowest prices, it has free cancellation with almost all hotels. You can book as soon as possible to guarantee a much lower price, and if you need to cancel later, it is super easy. And remembering that in this link below, we always organize everything you need to set up your entire trip for the lowest price on a single page. The sites we use to build our trips and that have everything much cheaper, such as international eSIM cell phone chip to have internet and call Uber safely, discounted travel insurance, tickets for tours, good and cheap hotels we have already stayed at, and the global account to carry dollars, Ecuador's official currency. Save this page in your favorites. Now let's get to the main attractions with details you cannot miss. Attraction number 1 is Malecon 2000. It is a 1.5-mile boardwalk along the Guayas River. It is an enclosed space with private security, gates, and very clean. It has gardens, monuments, like the Hemiciclo de la Rotonda, malls, cinemas, and food courts. It is where local families go for a stroll. Walk from the South Market, Crystal Palace, to the Guayaquil letters at the north end. On the way, you can take a ride on the Morgan boat to see the city from the river. Attraction number 2 is the Las Peñas neighborhood and Cerro Santa Ana. At the end of the Malecon, you find the city's oldest neighborhood. These are colorful wooden houses that have been restored. The challenge is to climb the 444 numbered steps to the top of the hill. The climb is tiring due to the heat, but full of bars and art galleries to stop and rest. Up there is a lighthouse and a chapel, with a 360-degree view of the city and rivers. Go in the late afternoon to watch the sunset and descend with the city lights on. It is a policed and safe tourist area. Attraction number 3 is Parque Seminario, Iguana Park. It is located in the center, in front of the cathedral. The incredible thing here is that dozens of giant green iguanas live free in the park. They come down from the trees, walk on the grass, and are not afraid of people. It is surreal to see these mini dinosaurs in the middle of the big city. Just be careful not to touch them and look up so as not to be surprised by one falling from a branch. It happens. Attraction number 4 is Parque Histórico Guayaquil. It is located in San Borondon. Take an Uber. It is a fantastic place that mixes zoo, architecture, and history. You walk along wooden walkways in the middle of the mangrove and see animals from the region: sloths, parrots, crocodiles. In addition, they dismantled old colonial mansions from the center and reassembled them piece by piece inside the park. Entry is free, and it is the best outing to do with kids. Attraction number 5 is Isla Santay. It is an ecological island in the middle of the river. Vital attention. Access used to be via a pedestrian bridge, but this bridge has suffered accidents with boats recently and is frequently closed for repairs. Before going, ask at your hotel if the bridge is open. If not, access is by small boats leaving from the dock near the Paraguay market. Inside, you walk along elevated walkways and visit a crocodile eco-village. An important tip that will save you time and money is to plan your tours to avoid the midday sun. Guayaquil is very hot. Do your walks early in the morning or after 4 p.m. Now let's move on to gastronomy. Guayaquil is seafood paradise. The sacred dish is encebollado. It is a fish soup, albacore, with lots of red onion, yucca, and spices. Locals eat it for breakfast, but it is delicious at any time. Another classic is bolón de verde, a giant ball of mashed and fried green plantain, stuffed with cheese or chicharrón, pork cracklings. It is heavy but delicious. And the supreme experience, eating cangrejo, crab. Guayaquileños are addicted to red mangrove crab. They are served whole, boiled in a broth of beer and spices. You get a hammer and a board. It is a delicious mess. Go to restaurants in Sauces or Miraflores for the authentic experience. For restaurant suggestions, La Pata Gorda is famous for crabs and seafood dishes. El Pez Volador is a simple and classic place to try the best encebollado. Arrive early, it runs out fast. For coffee or chocolate, visit the Cacao Museum on Panama Street, which is a pedestrian street full of charming restaurants. Quick and in-depth shopping tips. Ecuador uses the US dollar. The best place to buy crafts is at the Mercado Artesanal on Avenida 9 de Octubre. There, you will find original Panama hats. Yes, they are made in Ecuador, for much better prices than at the airport. Malls like Mall del Sol are gigantic and modern, with international brands if you need something imported. What to do at night? Safe nightlife is in Puerto Santa Ana. There are dozens of bars and restaurants on the riverfront, with outdoor tables and music. It is chic and lively. And if you are traveling with kids, the historical park is mandatory. Malecon 2000 has playgrounds, a beautiful carousel, and La Perla, a huge Ferris wheel overlooking the river. The iguanas at Parque Seminario are also guaranteed success. Mandatory documentation for international tourists. To enter Ecuador, you generally just need your valid passport. U.S. citizens do not need a visa. The yellow fever vaccine is recommended, but rarely asked for if you are not going to the Amazon. And remembering travel insurance. Medical costs in Ecuador are in dollars and can be expensive. We never travel without it, and in the link in the description there is the comparator we use. And to combine your trip, Guayaquil is the gateway to the Pacific beaches. From there, you can take a bus or transfer to Salinas, the Miami of Ecuador, or Montañita for surfing and partying. And of course, it is the main departure point for flights going to the Galapagos Islands. If you liked this complete and deep guide, like the video and subscribe to our channel to travel more and better around the world. Thank you very much and safe travels.